restorative, deep relaxation. And I'm Deb, in case you don't know me, but I think I know everybody in here. So just start by breathing. And we'll give it another couple minutes in case some more people come in. And you just heard on the announcement, it's the last day of our campaign today, so yay! If anybody hasn't, thank you, Mary Lou, for being our, class volunteer.
Yes, ma'am.
And collecting lots of money for the Y. We only do it once a year. So if you haven't given and you still want to, you can talk to Mary Lou after class. Anyway, we're just relaxing. Relax into your mat, close your eyes, and find a nice, deep, rhythmic breath. And we're going to stay on our backs for a while, so we won't need anything underneath of us just yet until the end. So pretty much flat on your back. And just focusing on the breath. In a restorative class, we usually use props of some sort to come into some deep, relaxing positions because we want to really get calm. We live in a really fast-paced world, and we're always sort of in that fight or flight with our nervous system. And so we really want to lower the blood pressure. We want to feel calmness. We want to relieve stress. Stress causes a lot of health issues in our bodies. And this is a really good way to relieve stress and tension in the body. Taking a few minutes just for ourselves. That parasympathetic nervous system will help you, will kick in and let you relax. Relax a lot more. So as we're just lying here, focusing on our breath, just notice that the inhales are expanding the entire torso. You can feel your ribs expand, your belly expand. In fact, everybody take your hands and put one hand on your heart and one on your belly, and just notice the breath in the body. Just begin to notice those big, deep breaths. And while we're here, we'll set an intention for the practice, right here. So wherever you are going with your heart today, how do you want your practice to look? How do you want your weekend to look? You know, spring is arriving this weekend. I'm very excited about that. So set an intention to take some time for yourself, to breathe deep, to relax. The facial muscles are relaxing. With each exhalation, we're feeling the tension release out of the body. Just notice the sound of your breath. Notice the pressure points of your body into the mat. Take a couple more nice deep breaths. And you can release your hands down by your hips. And on the next inhalation, bend your knees and bring them close into your sitting bones, as if you were going to lift up into a bridge pose, but we're not going to lift up into bridge just yet. As we exhale, you may pick up both knees, hug them into your chest, and take a little rock side to side. So we're just getting ourselves just a little bit of movement here. And feel free to keep your eyes closed and relaxed wherever you want. Or keep them open, it's up to you. There's plenty of space right over here. These mats are just here to hold space. So you can come around and grab a space. Now if you bring your feet back to the mat, we're going to take your right arm and we're going to inhale and lift your right arm up over your head. Maybe it touches the floor behind you, maybe not. As we exhale, we're going to turn your face away from that arm. So turn your head to the left. Keep your arm over your head. As you inhale, bring your face back to the front and center, so you're sort of looking back up at the sky. And as we exhale, we're going to slowly lower your arm all the way back down by your side. And then we're going to do the left side. So on the inhalation, we're going to lift the left arm up over your head. And as we exhale, we'll turn our face to the right side. So always turn your head away from your arm. And as we inhale, bring it back to the center. And as you exhale, start to lower that arm back down. So nice, slow. Think about one breath per movement as you do this. Inhale the right arm up over your head. And then exhale, turn your head to the left. As you inhale, bring it back up to the sky. And as you exhale, lower your arm all the way back down. Now try that one on the left side. Go at your own pace. So these are a few Vini Yoga movements that I like to incorporate. Inhaling the arm up, and then exhale, turn your head. I learned these in my yoga therapy class from Jeannie Dillion. And I love doing these. These help you feel relaxed, calm, but take care of the body a little bit. And again, inhaling the right arm up. Exhale, turn your head to the left. Inhale the face back up. Then exhale and lower the arm back down. And do it one more time, the left side, your own pace, your own breath, and always feel free to do that. In fact, in any of the classes that we do, you can slow down, speed up, take options, modifications, whatever you like. And that's complete. Draw the knees into the chest and hug them in. And again, just take a nice little rock. As you're lying here, rocking, go ahead and grab hold of your knees with your hands, and we're going to keep holding on to the knees, even as we inhale and straighten the arms and push the toes away up here to the front of the room. So your toes are still at 90 degrees, you're just pushing them straight up here. And as you exhale, bend your elbows and pull the knees into your chest. And squeeze the thighs in. So inhale, extend your toes, hold on to your knees. So you're only going as far as your arms are long. And then exhale, draw them back in. So just a little breath work, a little up and on, a little squeezing, a little breathing. Inhale, straightening the arms, holding onto the knees. And then exhale, draw them back in. And on the next inhalation, let's reach the fingertips over your head again. And again, maybe they'll touch the floor, maybe not. As your toes go up to the sky, straight up. And as we exhale, tuck the knees in and give them a nice hug. Exhale. Let's do that again. So inhale, extend toes to the sky, fingertips overhead, press down with the spine. Exhale, draw the knees in and tuck them into your chest. Do about 3 more of those at your own pace with your own breath. Inhaling, extending arms and legs, and exhale, draw them back in again. Breathing, moving with the breath, honoring your body by only going where it feels good for us today, not trying to push too far, too fast, or into any pain. And when that's complete, just hug your knees back in again. You can take another little rock, which always feels good. I love to rock side to side. This time we're going to open the arms up, T-shaped to the body. Press your palms down into the floor. Keep your knees right where they are. We're going to be twisting to the side by dropping your knees over to your left side first. So drop them over to your left side, and at the same time, pick your right arm all the way up and bring it all the way over to your left palm. So you're rolling onto your side all the way. It's like you're just lying on your side, taking a little rest right here. Now the legs will stay right where they are. Hi, come on in. And then as you inhale, open the arms back out, T-shape, but keep your knees right where they are. So the upper half of your body is twisted up to the sky, and the lower half is still to the left. As you exhale, draw the palms back over once again, coming together. Slow, methodical, with the breath. Inhale, opening the arms, open the chest. See if you can connect the shoulder blades to the floor. And as we exhale, twist back over again, bringing the palms together on your side. Inhale, opening. And then exhale, closing back up on your side. This time as you inhale and open back up, bring your knees back to the center also. Top leg lifts first, then the bottom, hug them back in, give them a nice little squeeze. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, release your hands all the way down, T-shape again, down to the floor. And this time, as you lift your knees up to 90 degrees, we'll drop those sets of knees over to the right side. And again, we're going to lift the left arm up this time. Bring it all the way over. Your right, your left. There you go. Your right. Bring your palms all the way together. Yeah, so you're totally on your side. And go very slow. And then inhale. Open it back up. Letting your arm come all the way down. That's right. And then slowly exhale, bring the palms back together again, keeping the lower half of the body with the knees still bent. Take your time. Inhale, opening. Exhale, closing it back up. I almost feel like a little clam here. Inhale, opening. Go with the breath. And exhale, close. And this time as you open it all the way back up, go ahead and bring your knees back to the center. Top leg lifts first and the bottom. Hug your knees back in. Nice little stretch, nice little pull. This time we'll release the feet to the mat. We are going to bridge up, so take your feet about hip distance apart, pretty close into your sitting bones. Use your arms the first few times. They're going to press into the mat. So as you inhale, peel your spine up. And lift your hips up, up, up into a bridge pose, pushing that tailbone out towards your knees. And as we exhale, slowly lower, bone by bone, all the way back down. Let's try that one again. Inhale, slowly peel the spine up, lift, lift, lift. Pressing down, the chin is close to the chest. And then exhale, slowly, slowly lower, bone by bone. Though you're unrolling a little string of pearls. This time as we inhale, let's take the arms with us. Inhale, lift the arms over the head. Once again, fingertips reach behind. They may or may not touch the floor. As you lift your hips up to the sky. As we exhale, we lower the arms, we lower the hips, so everything comes down at the same time. So try that about 3 or 4 more times with your own breath. Inhaling, lifting the arms overhead as you lift your spine up, your sitting bones up, and then slowly lower your hips, your arms at the same time. This nice slow movement. You can feel the rhythm of your body, the rhythm of the breath. Breathing. Relaxing. And when that feels complete, go ahead and pull your knees back into your chest. Take a little rock again. We're getting ready to come up to a seated position. If we have no issues in the spine or the back, you can roll like a little ball right on up. If not, just roll to one side and use both hands to sit yourself up to a nice seated position. And if our knees are way up high or our hips don't feel very comfortable, we have bolsters, we have blankets, and we can sit in a nice comfortable position, allowing the shoulders to relax down and away. And just find that nice breath once again with a long spine, so you feel as though the points of your sitting bones are pushing forward. As you inhale, lift the fingers to the sky, look up. As the palms press, we're going to lightly interlace the fingers and then turn the palms inside out by pressing them up to the sky, and see if we can't straighten the arms out a little bit. Ears on the inside of your arms where your elbows are. Expand the ribs, lift up even longer and taller. As we exhale, we're going to lower the left arm down and bring the right arm over your head. I like to bring the palm down. I kind of feel like a little ballerina here. And then just reach and stretch open the right side of the body. Just a little bit, maybe rolling the heart up to the sky. Maybe just looking straight ahead. Always know that you can do what feels best in your body. And then come all the way back up with that right arm. We're going to take a little twist and bring it to your opposite knee. Maybe it's only to your shin, wherever it feels good. So just because the person next to you has twisted themselves up into a little pretzel doesn't mean you have to do that. I want you always to feel like you can only go as far as you want to go. As you open your arms up, bring them behind you, lift your heart up to the sky, just a little bit, stretching open the collarbone, drawing the shoulder blades back. And then we're going to take it to the opposite side. So if we lift the left arm up and open up the left ribs, you can take your right hand to the mat. You might take your elbow to the mat, wherever it feels good for you. You might even use your block if we have any issues with anything. I think that I know all the issues until somebody tells me after class, well, I had this hernia thing. I'm like, really? So always listen to your own body. Up, we'll take that little twist right here again with that long straight spine. So each time you inhale, feel like your spine is growing taller. The crown of the head is being pulled up. And as we exhale, we might actually twist a little bit deeper. And as we make our way back to the front, bring your gaze and your hands back to the front. You're all on nice long mats coming this way. So cross your ankles, come forward onto hands and knees. Separate your knees about hip distance apart and your hands a little bit further out in front of your shoulders. Take some pressure off your wrist. And lift your heart and your tail. Do a little cat-cow roll. And that's exhaling into cat, rounding your spine, scooping out the belly, and look up at your belly button and push the floor away. As you inhale, arc your back. And lift your heart and lift your tailbone all the way up. And really start to articulate that spine. Again, go at your own pace. I know it's really tough for us sometimes to always be together because your breath may be faster or slower than mine or the person next to you. Just go with the flow. Just feel the body moving gently. We want to be gentle with our bodies. Now, if you tuck your toes, you're kind of activating your legs just a little bit more. Not that you have to have your legs activated when you're doing restorative yoga. We're restoring health, balance, physical health, emotional health, everything. But if you come into that neutral spine and your toes are tucked, we can take the hands out just a little handprint further. And as you exhale next time, lift your knees off the mat and come into downward facing dog. So pressing the fingers forward, press down at the base of the fingers. On the inhalation, drop back down to your knees into your cow pose again with that back arched. And then as you exhale, round, come up. Yep. Downward facing dog. Let's move back and forth between the cow, the arched back, and downward facing dog. So we exhale, tilt the sitting bones to the sky. When you need to take an inhale, we come back down and lift the heart forward. This helps you kind of maintain that natural curve in your back, so even as you're exhaling, you're going to find that you still have that nice little curve that protects your back. Take a few more rounds of this, lengthening the sides of your waist, feeling the stretch in the hamstrings, the shoulders. Draw the belly button up a little bit deeper inside. And then let's all end up back in our tabletop position right here. Moving the chest forward into a knee plank position. So we have our shoulders right over our wrists. And if that's really difficult, we have those little wedges we've talked about before. You can even take your hands a little further forward. Keep the belly drawn in. Keep the tailbone under. Tuck your elbows in and just lower a couple of inches. And then lift back up. And a couple of inches down further. And lift back up. You know, what's with this? This isn't restorative. Yes, we're just warming up your triceps. You notice that your elbows are scraping your rib cage. They're not sticking out. One more time. We're going to lower all the way to the mat. Fingertips are even with the tops of your shoulders. Press down with the tops of your feet. Take a little cobra pose. So we're going to press down with the pubic bone, lift your heart. Now think about your head being really heavy so that your neck is long and you're not looking forward, but sort of at the edge of your mat. As you exhale down, turn your face to one side. As you inhale up this time, see if you can lift your whole arm off the floor and squeeze the shoulder blades together. But keep looking down at your mat. When you exhale, lower down and turn your face to the opposite side. Do that again. Inhale, lifting the arms, lifting the chest. This time, maybe the legs come off the floor. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. And exhale back down. Turn your face to one side. One more time. Inhale, lifting, arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the legs off the mat. And this time, as you exhale, come all the way down and then press back into a child's pose. Drop the forehead to the earth. A nice extended child's pose, stretching out your arms, sitting your hips on your heels. From here, we're just going to circle the hips a little bit. So as you come up, push your hips to one side and skim them right over your heels and circle around. So push them to one side and circle the hips. If this feels uncomfortable for you, you might want to consider staying up and doing some barrel rolls or the corkscrew cat instead. Either way, if any of this bothers your knees, make sure you have a blanket or a towel underneath your knee. Take 4 or 5 in one direction and then skim it around and take it in the opposite direction. Breathing, moving with the breath. And then finally coming back up to hands and knees with that nice neutral spine. Let's take your right foot and step up by your right thumb. We're going to keep the fingertips down on either side. So as we come into this lunge position, you might need to wangle your foot forward just a little bit. Inhale, keep the chest on the thigh, and feel the stretch on the left hip flexor. As we exhale, we're not going to go very far. Keep your fingertips right where they are and just push your sitting bones back. Your chest can stay on your thigh. And just feel a little bit of stretch in your calf and your hamstring of that right leg. And as we inhale again, come forward, lengthening the spine, bringing the chest forward, and then exhale. And when we're in that lunge position, when we're forward here, inhaling, make sure the knee is directly over the ankle. So if your foot's back too far, keep walking the toes forward. Try that one more time. Pressing back. And then as we move forward, go ahead this time and bring your hands right up to your knee, your thigh. Feel that nice stretch. Draw them back. Shoulders back and down. As we exhale, we're going to take that right leg and sweep it all the way through behind us, coming into a spinal balance. So with that right leg back, right at hip height, it doesn't need to be way up here, take your left arm and reach forward. Find some nice length right here. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Rolling that back toe to the center line of your body so that it's nice and even hips. As you bring your hand down, take that leg off to the opposite side of your mat and kind of twist around and look at it, and you can stretch into your right hip. Maybe on the ball of the foot. Come back to the center, and we'll take it to the opposite side. So if we take the left foot, and it might get stuck back here, pick your foot up and move it all the way up. So again, you're getting that little stretch on the right side. Inhale, move the heart forward. Press down with the top of the back foot. And then exhale, just stretch it out a little bit. It doesn't have to be straight. You don't have to sit all the way down. The knee can stay bent. Just to kind of get that soft, slow opening. And then inhale, moving the chest and the heart forward. Stay up on your fingertips again. Everybody looks really good. And press back. And very quiet today. And move forward again. I could make it like a Miss Mary's romper room, and I could go around and introduce each of my doobies. I didn't bring my magic mirror. Press back. Your hips back. And come all the way back up. And this time you can walk your hands right on up. Feel that stretch on that hip flexor. So that knee is way back. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other and feel like you're drawing up from the pelvic floor. And slowly release and take that left leg and sweep it right on through. Spinal balance, opposite side. Reaching really long. Again, we stay lifted through the torso. We pull the belly in. We keep the shoulder blades flat. We keep the hips level. We keep breathing into our space. Press down with the back foot. And then as you bring your hand down, go ahead and move that leg off to the side of the mat. So you're kind of crossing it behind. Push down with the ball of your foot. I like to look back and really emphasize pushing into the left hip. You can even walk your hands a little further. Whatever feels good for you. Come all the way back. And take your child's pose once more at the back. Drop your forehead down, crawl your fingers out. Now as we come up, I'd like to do one of my favorite restorative poses, and if you have a bolster, this works really well. If you don't have a bolster, about 3 blankets works really well. If you set your block and bring your bolster up onto your block, no, it's not instant Maui, but we will do that at the end. We're going to take our knees to the side of your bolster and then bring your chest down so that your arms are on either side. I would suggest starting with turning your face in the same direction as your knees. Now this is fine with a bunch of blankets too. And you can do this at home. When you're feeling like you need a little something, this is a great way to relax. You can just pile up a bunch of blankets because you need more than this. So that it's supporting your entire torso, the whole rib cage. Here, I'm going to use this. Okay. To intensify this, we turn our face to the opposite side. But if you do that, I want you to be very, very gentle with it because you're going to feel that twist immediately. I see us readjusting our chest just a little bit. And that's perfectly fine. Maybe the feet get readjusted, the knees. You might pull one in front of the other if that feels right for you. Take your time with this. It's a supported spinal twist. And so when we're doing these poses that restore us, they're held for a while. They're to increase the intensity slowly to get the full benefits without injuring ourselves. Just take a few more rounds of breath. You can turn your face in either direction that you like. We usually do restorative poses when we're feeling a little depleted energy-wise, or maybe we have a cold, or maybe we're feeling a little down in the dumps about something. And so sometimes this can be very effective at making you, feel a little bit better. So take another round of breath, and then let's make our way into changing sides. And that's just a very, very gentle, just come on up and switch your knees around and bring your opposite hip down to the side of your bolster. And then turn your rib cage. And again, you can stay here. You can stay here. You can turn your face away from your knees. That's a lot more intensity. But do what feels right. And this is a great one to do. You can do these at home just by stacking blankets. You can roll up a small tight blanket or towel in place of your block if you don't have a block. Just let the breath slow down just a little bit. Lowers your blood pressure. Very calm. And you can always get more blankets to support yourself, putting under arms, hands, knees to make this real cozy. Have you ever been at home propped up on a sick day on the couch, watching TV or doing something, or reading a book, and you just want to prop little blankets all around you between your knees and all those little empty spaces in your body so you feel totally supported? That's restorative poses. Feeling very supported, very comfy. Take about 3 more rounds of breath on this side. And when we're ready to move out of this, we're going to straighten the hips up just a little bit. So if you come slowly back to the center, we'll take your knees a little bit wider and do a supported child's pose. And I love using the bolster all the way underneath where you can just rest like this. For some people, this isn't as comfortable. Stack up what you need. Blankets, more bolsters, more blankets, more blocks. You can turn your head from one side to the other. And if that still doesn't serve your body much today, you could take something a little bit different. I know I've showed you turtle before, where you can sit almost like a cobbler pose and do the same thing. You can stack up blankets and blocks and just go, ah, if you're feeling like you'd like to be in more of a forward fold position. If the child's pose bothers your knees, for some of us it does, and we certainly don't want to aggravate anything when we're doing restorative yoga. Besides Balasana, child's pose, corpse pose is probably the most restorative pose of all. But These two are my favorite, the most restorative ones that you can do. I feel like this is kind of like a little workshop, just telling you all the good stuff. Sometimes it's hard to get away from life's stress, and tension, and the craziness. It's hard to, I used to go in the bathroom and pretend I was taking a long bath when I had little kids. So I could get some relief time. Sometimes we can't always do that. And some of us come to yoga class to sort of justify a time to relax and breathe and stay really present and focused on what we're doing with our bodies, with our minds. We'll take about another 30 seconds to 45. A few more rounds of breath here before we move into the final pose. The nice long Shavasana. So it's just some gentle movement today, just to sort of wake up the body a little bit. Sometimes if you focus on your breath or gentle music or a mantra that you have, just saying something over and over again to yourself, that can really help you relax that nervous system, which in turn lowers the stress level, lowers all the negative health issues. So as we begin to slowly come out of this supported child's pose, our last pose is going to be a little bit more heart opening. You have lots of choices, and of course, Instant Maui, which I've told you about, I've shared with you. My teacher, Debbie Murphy, told me about this a couple years ago. We're going to, Instant Maui is supporting your bolster with a block, and that's not the only thing you can do. And bringing your feet together in Supta Konasana, your bound reclining angle. And one of the good things about these blankets and things is that you can wrap them around your feet. You can use them to support your knees and your back. And this is a great way to take a nice long Shavasana or meditation. You may also choose to use without the block if you want more of a heart opener. You might be all the way up here on your bolster. You might use 2 bolsters or a couple blankets and let your heart open. If that still is not your cup of tea and you want to be down closer to the mat, use your blanket rolled up right under the tips of your shoulder blades so that you can lie back and keep your collarbone open and stretching and your chest open, which is really good because we all walk around these days with rounded shoulders and looking at our handheld devices. So whatever feels really good for you, I will go lower the lights now, and we'll take this as our last pose of the day. So make sure that you're very, very comfortable, that you could just stay like this all day. Let your facial muscles relax again, your eyes sink in the back of your head. This is a time when you can meditate, that you can rest. You can just focus your mind on your breath. If you don't have a favorite mantra, sometimes just thinking in, the word in as you inhale, and out as you exhale. So think in as you inhale and out as you exhale. We can just soften the heart, quiet the mind, listen to the breath, sinking deeper into our own space. Let go of any of that tension in the body. With each exhalation, just feel like the tension is beginning to dissipate. Let go of trying to hold yourself in a particular way. Just let go of whatever in your life isn't serving you. Just be for a few moments. Continue to deep breathe. And remember to quiet that monkey mind. It's good to have the forehead a little bit higher than the chin. It's good to make those exhalations a little bit longer than your inhalations. So if we really need to calm ourselves down, we need to exhale longer, slower, maybe even retain the breath for just a moment. Just hold it after your exhalation. And then take a quicker inhalation. And of course, if we're feeling the opposite, sort of depressed, feeling kind of down, lethargic, no energy, we may want to energize the body just a little bit. And that would require taking deeper inhalations. So you want to lengthen those inhales, and again, maybe hold or retain the breath at the top of the inhale, and exhale a little bit quicker. And that will give us a little bit needed energy for our day. Deepen the breath again, wiggling the fingers and the toes, Bringing ourselves back to awareness, moving and stretching in a way that feels right for us. Perhaps rolling over to one side, or maybe just drawing the knees in and taking a little rock if you're down on your mat. Take a few more rounds of breath in this little fetal position on the side. And when we feel ready, we can gently push ourselves back up to a seated position. Use both hands, take your time. Let your head be the last thing that comes up. Maybe the eyes stay closed and relaxed. And sit in a comfortable cross-legged or easy pose. Again, making sure we have the support under the hips to lengthen the spine. Hands can rest on the knees or in the lap. Slow, deep inhalations and exhalations, even as we drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Allow the chin to drop down to the chest. And then to the opposite side, left ear to the left shoulder. Once more, the chin is on the chest, the head just hangs heavy. As we inhale, bring the face back to the front and center, draw the shoulders back one time. Sweep the fingertips to the sky, the palms press. On the exhalation, draw the hands to prayer in front of the heart. Take a deep breath in, once again, filling the lungs from top to bottom. Hold it for just a second at the top, and then exhale very, very slowly, allowing that breath to bring balance back into the body and mind. Inhaling again, fill the lungs. Go back. Go back to that intention we set. Maybe we're still on our path from the new year. Maybe we just want some positive energy for the day. As you exhale again, slow, tension, stress, negativity, all leave the body. And as we leave today feeling calmer, a little bit more peaceful, may you have joyful blessings for this weekend and the days of spring ahead. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, yogis.